College workers are not only recognizing the ongoing union revolution, they're taking part in it. Check out this headline: College workers ride the national wave of union organizing, which is indeed a beautiful thing. It has me giddy right now. And like colleges and other occupations at universities and at firms, including warehouse workers, retail workers, Amazon workers, Starbucks baristas, and port truckers, campus groups are youthful. They're fed up with the corporate and capitalist exploitation, keyword there, exploitation of their labor, and respond by one of two ways: unionizing or leaving for other jobs. And that is coming from a publication, People's World. And then let's check out this alarming stat right now. Let's take a look at that. Average student employee salary is only $11.58 an hour. That's a yearly rate of $24,000 a year. That is not enough for people to live off of, especially you're independent adults and you're expected to live off of less than $25,000 a year. No, you can't do that. In addition to better pay, student workers, especially graduate students, are fighting for more benefits. Imagine that, the shame. What? They're fighting for better benefits, better work conditions, better wages in the United States of America, the hegemon nation of the world. Yeah, they are. Student workers' demands, here are their demands, and it sounds eerily similar to the demands that we see all working people who are organizing in this moment asking for: health insurance, workload limits, paid sick leave. Francesca, they asking for too much.
No, I mean, this has been going on for decades, right? Ever since the 60s and 70s on into, when I was going to college in the early 2000s and like early, every time grad students are like, hey, we are completely overworked. The university, which charges an exorbitant amount of money for tuition to these, incoming freshman students, of which they'll go into a lot of debt over. Can y'all afford to pay us a little bit more, because we have to go to school, we have to then TA a bunch of classes, grade a bunch of papers, make a living in this city. If we're living in Boston, we're living in New York, these are not cheap places to live in, pay rent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We need some help, and universities have been giving them this, the stiff upper lip. Ergo, the need for a grad student union. The problem is so many people look at grad students, they're like, oh, higher education, you're elite, you must have money. No, they do not have money. These are folks who are going into study. Yeah, they might be studying law, but it doesn't mean they're gonna be corporate lawyers. It doesn't mean that they're gonna, they might be studying nursing. They might be in med school. They're not gonna be making it rain. No, they're gonna be in debt. And so like these are the things that like, I'm glad that now with this wave of unionization, wave of class consciousness, that we're seeing grad students and college workers rise up along with retail workers.
Yeah, so am I. And it really is showing the worker solidarity. And Francesca, your point about how people make it seem as though if you're a college student, it's you versus non-college students. No, we're all in the same boat. I certainly did not come from a family of any wealth. As a matter of fact, working poor, and just take the other O and R off, just poor. And I didn't have a whole lot of money. My family didn't have money to send me to college. I'm a first generation college graduate. So absolutely, this is not an us versus them when it comes to college educated and non-college educated. Many people are still paying off student debt to this very moment. We encourage people to go to college to increase their knowledge base and to hopefully increase the amount of income they can make. And things have run amok, from the cost of colleges and universities to people's dollar not going as far as it once did. And it is really good. It is good news to see that student unions have been on the rise all over the place in this country. And student workers aren't alone. About 120 new faculty union chapters have won recognition since 2013. And we know, because we talk about the rise of labor unions on this show quite often, where the American people are in their support of labor unions. And with more than 30 36,000 members, according to the National Center for the Study of Collective Bargaining in Higher Education and the Professions at Hunter College. Over the last 10 years, just 10 years, the number of faculty union chapters at private nonprofit colleges has shot up more than 80%. This is indeed a beautiful thing. And let us remind you that whether or not you are in a union, when union workers rise up for better benefits, better work conditions, better wages, it does indeed have a ripple effect across the working class. We truly are all in this together, and everybody. Now I say this, Francesca, and I know people probably chuckle a little bit, but unless you got a sugar mama or a sugar daddy or sugar somebody, you work for a living. And some of us may be blessed to be at the upper echelons of the working class in terms of our salary. Some of us are in the middle of that, and some people are at the bottom. But we are all working class. If you are in the 98%, if you can't afford to take off for months and months and months on end, if your life will come crashing down, if you miss 2, 3, 4, 5 paychecks, then baby, you in the working class. And so it is a beautiful thing to see across sectors, people unionizing.
Agreed. Yeah, and shout out to the UC strike, UC workers who are currently on strike, and professors and students, grad students who are currently on strike. 5 weeks in, let's keep it going. Get that contract that you need.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Shout out to them.